got it on.
Okay, hang on. It's... Refresh. Just click it real quick and make sure it works. Shouldn't be using much bandwidth because it's just doing a static picture right now. That's it, yeah. That's all I'm showing right now.
Oh, okay.
So at some point, I'll change it to live video.
That's funny.
Security over there or what? What's this guy in the corner?
He's guarding the door to make sure the door doesn't get open and have the floodgates open again.
Make sure the ninjas don't sneak in the back.
Exactly.
Well, they better start filing in here. So there's a bunch of them outside.
Oh, no.
What?
That guy's here.
Oh yeah, you can believe it. He's going to get up and speak for the district. You want?
Oh, he has sued him so many times.
He what?
He sued him.
I know, but the last time I remember him saying something, he got up and spoke in the district's favor. I think it was impromptu. I don't think he was signed up. I think it was one of those things where after hearing a bunch of people, he asked to say something. Well, it's going to be interesting. Nobody's counting. What are they going to do?
Okay, I'll sit over here. Or over there.
I can tell you there's more people walking in right now than there are open seats. Get to eat.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
Okay, so why is this not?
had a great start to the school year. We're promoting a lot of positivity around school, so that's great. The rally was really positive, and everyone was participating and all that stuff. I think that's really great too.
Thank you.
Next are comments from the public on items not on the agenda. We have the forms here, and so we're going to go ahead and proceed. We will be limiting you to 3 minutes. When the timekeeper signals at the 2-minute mark, please know that you have 1 minute left. Okay, we want to hear as many people as possible.
If I may, I would just explain the time. We have Laura Esther who's here, and she's going to work this whole other slide. So the first slide says you have 3 minutes. One will be 1 minute, or the yellow is 1 minute left, and the red is 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Comments not appearing on the agenda. Notice to the public. The Brown Act, specifically the Government Code, Section 5495.4.2, provides that no action or discussion shall be taken on any item unless it is adequately described in a timely posted agenda. Accordingly, the board cannot respond to public comments without risking the deliberating or initiating discussions on topics not properly before the board. Given the prohibition set forth in the Brown Act, the risk associated with responding to public comments, the board does not respond to witness questions or comments. The board will respect the rights of the public to express their viewpoints on matters within the board's jurisdiction. However, comments that are defamatory or that violate the privacy rights of any students or individuals will not be protected by law. The board shall not permit any disturbance or willful interruption of board meetings.
First speaker, Ms. Pearson.
Good evening, I'm Chris Kirsching. Hard to be limited to 3 minutes because I'm a retired pastor, but I'll try hard. I just wanted to report to the board and to the community tonight that about 2 hours ago we had around 100 people that gathered at St. Andrew Presbyterian Church to pray for the board, and to pray for the teachers, and to pray for the Teacher Association, and to pray for the negotiation process that's going on. And I wanted you to know about that there's a lot of folks that are concerned about it and are supporting you in prayer. My apologies to the board. I set the time for that meeting at 5, failing to realize that you have a 5:30 meeting. But some of you still were able to get there for about 25 minutes with it, so we really thank you for that. But we had representatives from the board there, from the teachers union, from teachers, from the community. And what we did was we prayed, not for one side or the other, but we prayed for wisdom, and we prayed for guidance, and we prayed for peace to kind of overlay all the discussions that are going on right now. And so tomorrow, when some discussions continue on at whatever level they're going to continue tomorrow, I wanted those folks that are involved in that, and all of you that are here tonight, to know that there will be some people praying for you. And of the 100 people that were there today, we had people raise their hand and who was willing to pray at particular half-hour intervals throughout the day. So at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, some people will start praying for you. And every half hour, there will be people praying for that process until 10 o'clock at night, when we suspect everything will be done and wrapped up. But they'll be praying again for wisdom for all of you, and that this whole thing can be settled in a way that's just and fair and done quickly. A lot of people are really concerned about the pain that's going on in the community, a lot of hurt feelings that have gone on. So our expectation is, and my hope is, that tomorrow there'll be a fresh start at those talks, and that the people that go to those talks can put aside whatever personal hurt has occurred prior to that time, and they really will be filled with a new sense of wisdom, and a sense of peace and fair play will override all those conversations. So thank you, board, for your work. Thank you, teachers, for your work, and we expect good things to start happening tomorrow.
Cody. My name is Renee, and one of the topics of discussion I wanted to bring up, I'm relatively new to all of this, but I hear a lot of great things, and I see that the negotiations are going to continue tomorrow. My concern is I have a younger brother who is at City High School. He is an AP student, worked very hard, has I believe 3 to 4 AP classes. Football team, wrestling team, basketball team, volleyball team. He's done everything before, during, and after school to be able to get into a 4-year university. And I'm just kind of wondering what some of these options are going to be for him if the negotiations don't plan out as we all expect them to be, and the strike or the possibility of a strike continues, worst case scenario for the remainder of the year. So just want to get a little bit more information and a little bit more education on kind of what some of these options are so we can plan ahead in case something does happen.
Amber Vieira.
Hi, my name is Amber Vieira, and I'm coming as a parent of a student that has a disability. I've spoken specifically with Mr. Sherman and Mr. Northern in regards to my son's type 1 diabetic. And I'm just wondering if the teacher's strike, what is going to be put in place so that I know that it's safe to send my son to school. I'm nervous on a daily basis with my son being at school, being type 1 diabetic, and some of the teachers have some knowledge, some have more knowledge. But just knowing that there's like maybe a whole new crew of people, and none of them have been trained on anything. I'm just wondering what's going to be put in place for children with disabilities.
Carol, Colin.
I'm Carol McCauley, a retired teacher at Yuba City High School and a member of the community with my children having gone through Yuba City Public Schools. I hadn't planned on talking, but something has happened to me in the last 2 weeks that I think the board members and the community ought to be aware of. I was called Wednesday, the day before school started. I'm on the sub list, and I was asked to substitute at River Valley High for a teacher that I was told had been hired but still needed to clear the background checks, and they hoped to have that all taken care of by the middle of the next week, which was a week ago. I don't like to sub long-term. I just wanted to come in for a few days to help out, and I was a former history teacher. These were history classes, and I thought I could do some good. So Wednesday I went over, got the textbook, got at least an idea of what I was supposed to do, and then showed up Thursday morning, walked into class. The lead of the department had run off some materials for me to use because I didn't have anything. I wasn't really subbing for someone that had already been there. And so I took it as, from there on, conducting the class as I would to the best of my ability. And as of today, I gave their first test to them. I said, I don't know when the new teacher's gonna come, but you know, I am kind of fed up with the whole thing, having put forth good faith that I was gonna be there a few days, and now I'm still there. And I'm conducting the class, and these kids don't have a regular teacher in their classroom to handle as a teacher should. That's all.
My 2 oldest children have graduated. My oldest is on pace to graduate for a 4-year university in 3 years. I would like to take credit for her intelligence. However, it is because of the education she got in this season. She had excellent teachers, and I know that that's why she is doing such an excellent job.
the school year started to my home to find out how they could best deal with him and his needs. I've had teachers learn how to give insulin shots even though they weren't supposed to, in case he needed that. That's not something we find anywhere else. That is a big deal. And I know because I do advocacy work and I'm in advocacy this. That is something that is in the city and I don't want to lose it. It scares me. I fight so hard because we have great teachers and for me it was life. It was life and death. When you have a diabetic child, you don't have second chances. And I just, as a parent, want everybody to know we don't have, we can't mess around. We have to make sure our teachers are treated.
Brian Lowe.
Hi, my name is Brian Lowe. I'm not a teacher, nor do I have any children in this district, only in college. I come from a family that has few current teachers as well as retired administrators and retired teachers within my family. Our discussion into that decision and finish with unbelievable. I've coached off and on in this YCUSD community for years. One of the things I used to tell my players is it's not the mistake you make that changes the outcome of the game, it's what you do with that mistake that can change the outcome of the game. My question is, what is the district going to do to change the outcome of the teachers' negotiations? What is the district going to do to repair the damage to their team chemistry and the relationships with the teachers? Without good team chemistry with teachers, it affects the children throughout our school district. I'd like to see the district post a comparison chart of the top 4 administrative positions in our district using the same type of comparison being used on teachers on the district website. A quote from President Franklin Roosevelt: "The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, it is whether we provide enough for those who have too little." The classified staff and teachers are the foundation to which to build a great school district. Thank you.
Noel Bells.
Teachers, students, board members, and community members. My name is Noelle Bells, and I am a 2016 alumni of Yuba City High School. My entire education has been with Yuba City Unified School District until my recent graduation, and throughout that time, I have grown up with aspirations I have so far been successful in achieving. I have been successful not only because of my desire to thrive and contribute to my community, but because of the teachers who have helped me thrive academically and have helped me realize my dreams and kindle my desire to learn. My teachers are the reason why I have been so successful. Without them, I would have never imagined I would be where I am today. Every teacher has also taught me many life lessons I will never forget. For my teachers, I am eternally grateful. You are the reason why I will contribute something great to this world, and especially give back to this community. However, many of the teachers who have contributed to my success and many others are leaving the district due to pay inequity with surrounding districts. We cannot allow this to continue for the sake of our students who have unlimited potential and will do great things. Without our spectacular teachers, these students are having their education inhibited. As a community, we must stand up for our teachers. These teachers have shaped my life and so many others. They have put in countless hours that are unpaid to ensure students succeed. They must be treated with the respect they have earned. I find it unacceptable and demoralizing that our teachers are being paid 13.4% less than the state's average, and even more so that our superintendent is making nearly 50 grand more than our state's governor. These teachers do so much, yet do not get the respect they are entitled to. Board members, please realize the teachers are not being unreasonable when asking for a pay that is actually reasonable and competitive. This is the only way to retain and attract qualified teachers. Please, members of the community, stand with our teachers so that the students of Yuba City Unified School District have access to the bright futures we know they deserve.
Our last speaker is Mitchell.
Hi. Hi, my name is Mateo Mitchell, a freshman at Yuba City High School, a son of a fabulous teacher at AK. I'm asking you today why you guys make 13% over state average, and my mom and her colleagues are getting paid more than 13% below the state average. Within the question, with that question asked, an amazing and respected counselor from YC and many teachers from our community and your district have left the for other school districts to make more money and to be treated with respect. I have a dream to go to the Air Force Academy, which I need an excellent education to be prepared for the entrance requirements. With this school district, I'm not seeing that happening with the destructive path. This negotiation stalemate seems to be leading us down. If this district can't recruit and keep excellent teachers, how can I expect the level of education that I need to achieve my dreams and goals? My mom has put in hours upon hours of time in her classroom and out, and made sure that tournaments have been run, snack bars have been run at last second, and stayed up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for grading. She is a volunteer for the Civil Air Patrol program and was a Sutter County grand juror for 2 years straight. Oh, that's just one teacher out of 700 teachers there is in this school district. That don't get enough respect. They are still working not just for themselves or just for the money, but they're doing it for the kids like me that they are teaching. All I'm asking for the teachers of this community to be respected and paid what they deserve. I think you would do the same thing if you were in their position. From my experience with substitutes, a lot of learning happens when they are in the classroom. Teachers strike 100 sub. Thank you for having me speak. Good night.
Excuse me, yeah, well, my apologies, but there are some folks outside who did not get a chance to enter and who wanted to speak. So I don't know how you want to deal with that, whether you'd like to ask some folks to exit, but there are folks out there who like to speak.
Okay, the reason that was done is because the capacity has already been warned is at 86. And so.
I can step out.
Thank you for the time.
I get it. What do you think?
I think she just sent her disrespect all the way. So she doesn't.
I don't know. You know, and like I said, it's not me with the union, it's me as a parent. I don't know that I want to give that propaganda to the union. You can certainly talk to them about it.
When did you get it?
Starting work, all the way to the back.
Okay, for those that are still in the audience, we're going to give, for those that are still in the audience, we're going to give another 15 minutes for people to speak. Because at some point, the board has to continue the business of the board. Okay, Joseph, would you know that we're gonna start the Q&A session? If you wish to speak, please fill out the form now. It's gonna be 15 additional minutes, and then the board has to continue with this meeting. David Mariscal, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name. David?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Thank you for the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, let me just be very brief about this. I'm very concerned, obviously, as everybody in this room is, not just because of the current labor situation, but just because we're facing a nutrition problem in schools. I came from Los Angeles, and having come from the LA Unified School District, I know that good teachers and teachers that truly care and throw themselves at the job of education aren't everywhere. And here in Yuba City, my children have found a wonderful community at Park Avenue School. I want to thank you, boys, for for doing the work to have that wonderful community, but also I implore you at the same time, do what's needed to keep the most valuable resource we have in those buildings, and that is those teachers. That's the difference. For those buildings at Park Avenue, they're not the newest, they're not the most modern, it's not the biggest school, but those teachers care. And those teachers have taken my children by the hand and have taught them and have just poured so much effort above and beyond what we would expect from what a cynical person would say is the norm, or what would be expected from what a cynical person would also say is the duty of a civil servant. They are an extended part of our family. I implore you, please, don't let this opportunity to retain our best and our brightest, don't let this opportunity to keep these wonderful schools that we have here. The Park Avenue is an example of a diamond in the rough. The challenges in that community are just staggering. More and more children come in, English challenge, but yet the attitude and the outlook and the effort is not waning in those teachers. As a parent, I'm impressed. And as a parent, I'm concerned. Please, I implore you, come back to the bargaining table. Come back, sharpen that pencil. It's been too long. Please, get the deal done. Thank you.
Rachel Reed.
I know I'm just a kid and you probably won't listen to me for what I say. These teachers in the Yuba City district, they've changed my life. Before I came here, I used to be at least a 2 minus and 1 student. But when I came here, these teachers changed my life for the better. They changed my life, and now I'm a 3 plus and a 4 plus student and 4 student. They've changed my life so much, and what they're getting is unfair. They deserve so much better than what you guys are giving them. They deserve to be respected just because they help us. Imagine me and all the other kids when all the good teachers are gone. Imagine that. This Yuba City, everybody will quit. And you guys won't get the money you guys want too. If all the good teachers are gone, all the students are going to be gone. Then how are you supposed to get the money you deserve and the money they deserve? They deserve equal rights than you do. It's not fair that the leaders are getting more money than the government. It's not fair. And I beg of you, please, their children. Imagine their son. How are they supposed to pay for college for their children? I have a teacher. She's changed my life forever. I will never forget her as long as I live. And so you guys need to remember that. They deserve equal rights than you guys do. So please, I beg of you, give them equal pay. Give them equal everything. They don't deserve what you're giving them. Thank you.
Lisa, I'm sorry.
Hi there. I didn't plan on speaking tonight, but I have written plenty of stuff on Facebook. My name is Lisa Bates, and I'm retired Air Force. I retired here after 20 years after food. I am now in my last semester becoming a registered nurse. I've been a nurse at the Fountains since 2008. And I know everyone sitting in here in Yuba City, or lives here in Yuba City, when they go to the hospital, they expect the best nurses. They expect competent nurses. They expect nurses that care about Yuba City. They don't want traveling nurses. They want the best nurses. Well, that's what we want in our teachers. I retired here in Yuba City so that I could build a life here. My son is in 10th grade at River Valley, and I am so unhappy that he is going through this his last three years of high school. And he can go to any college here in California, but I feel like his education is at stake now. That's 3 most important years. And I think everyone sitting in this room would understand what I'm saying. When you have pushed education, my husband and I, we were both educated, we are both retired Air Force, and we want the best for our son. And now he has to go through this. And I will say that I will be one of the parents to take my son out of this district if I have to. And I know a lot of people that feel the same. And I told some of the nurses today, the young ones, they're like 24, that haven't had kids yet, you guys are the ones that need to be concerned, because your kids are going to be going to a whole district of teachers that receive less pay. You're going to be attracting less paid teachers, and I don't know what their qualifications are going to be. I know that at Rideout we received a large pay raise so that we were commensurate. We received commensurate pay to the surrounding areas, because what happens are the nurses, they work here for 1 year and off they go. So you guys, when you come to the hospital, you're getting the brand new RNs that have been an RN for 1 year, 1 year, 2 years, traveling nurses that they don't know anybody here in the society, this community. You know what? They just want to get their paycheck and go. But if you want to retain the best teachers who have a vested interest, you have to match the pay surrounding communities, or you are going to lose them. And there's a lot of concerns, and I would hope that any of you that had children would understand everything I'm saying. Thank you.
This will be our last speaker, please.
Thank you, Madam President, board, audience. I don't mean to burst your bubbles, but I'm trying to get food. Because I don't completely agree, because for the last 6 months I've seen respect. But yet I have not seen YCTA's leadership show a whole lot of respect here in this room, or any other places they've had meetings. Because I started coming to these meetings 5 years ago because I have a special needs son. I've had to sue this district 3 times, not because anybody's sitting up here, but because some of the people in the audience. Okay, because they didn't want to follow a simple IEP. Now, is that fair? You talk about all these great teachers. I'm sorry, I can't speak like Heidi did to find the good ones. My son had a great kindergarten teacher, and that screwed it up everything. Because 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, we haven't found it yet. He had the best opportunity this year when he switched to Mary. had an awesome teacher he spent summer school with. But you know what? She's no longer here. Why? Not because of this, because of the pressure the Teachers Association put on her. Because in her mind, she was gonna go out. You can sit there and do it, but ma'am, I know for a fact. Okay? So now my son's suffering because of this needlessness. My thing is, I do construction, so I love numbers. And when you sit there and say, I'm not saying you don't deserve it, fact of the matter is, where's the money coming from? Are you gonna be back here when Johnny don't get to play football? Or he doesn't get an ROP program? Because that's where the money's gonna come from. Because they don't have it. It's that simple. You can sit here, like I said, I invite you all of them to come be here in the meeting as many times as I have. And then maybe you understand a little better. Because most of you, I don't think. Because a lot of it is like when I was very irritated tonight when I see a guy holding a parking sign, very misleading. Much of what I've read in the paper, very misleading. There's two sides, and in the middle is the truth. And you better come together and get that truth and make it public. Because I don't care either side, one way or the other, let's get it done. But I sure the hell know this district can't afford 25% in the last 3 years if this goes through. Thank you.
That concludes comments from the children not on the agenda. We are now going to proceed to the consent agenda. First we have the enrollment report.
Thank you, Madam President. I bring forward tonight the enrollment as of August 17th, 2016. On that date, we have 12,607 students enrolled in the district. We are continuing to see enrollment increasing. I think we're going to see a report after the Labor Day weekend when we tell them in terms of when we are regarding our enrollment.
Next item is the consent agenda. Is there any item that any member wishes taken separately, Dr. Jones?
Yeah, I have two. It's like on the second page of Houghton Mifflin. It's a contract with Houghton Mifflin for $574,591.
You just saw it.
Okay, I want that one and then the next. Houghton Mifflin.
So those are the two items left for you. Do you want to ask questions or tell us how you want to proceed?
What I'd like to do is I'd like to have this moved to another meeting. I would ask the staff to present a report on what this how does it affect, how does it impact the different levels of our district?
We already adopted that program.
Yes, so these. So the Read 180 curriculum is the intensive intervention program adopted by and approved by the State Department of Education. So districts are afforded the opportunity to adopt and purchase supplemental intervention programs. So the Hood Mifflin Read 180 curriculum is that program. And this program is designed for students in grades 4 through 12 who are 2 or more grade levels below in the area of reading. And then the Hood Mifflin English 3E curriculum is the supplemental English language for English language learners. So it's again a supplemental program that the state has adopted, and districts are allowed to select to provide reading support to our English learners.
As staff explained this to the board and I wasn't there?
So it went through the adoption process when we went through the adoption process with the other programs, and so I'm trying to remember if we actually talked about these two, but it is the supplemental programs that are
go through the adoption process at the state level, and then went through this adoption process here in the district. So committees reviewed the different programs that are available, and then it went for public review, and then adoption, and then bringing forward for the purchase.
Well, let me add this, I'm not going to be late to this issue. I was at another school and I conducted my own study on Read 180. And what happened was I studied for one cohort that went through 4 years, and they were poor readers and what have you. After the first year, their reading scores really went up. The next year, they went down. The year after that, they went down again. This was just high school. The year after that, they were off into a continuation school and dropped out of school. And so I'm just wondering, you know, is there constant testing on this? Is there monitoring on this? You know, I'm sure it's been well thought out, but I wouldn't want us, we're talking about $500,000 and a lot of kids. We want to make sure that you've already been through the process, you know? Now that was just me and my study. Maybe it was faulty. Maybe the person teaching that class wasn't doing a good job. I don't know. But let it be.
So, Doreen, as part of that process, who makes up those committees, just so everybody's aware?
So there are grade level teachers from the different sites that participate in the different curriculums. It goes on public display for public viewing so that the public has an opportunity to look at those programs.
Thank you.
When this was first presented to the board, was the backup data was included in the agenda at that time?
Yes, and so if Dr. Rosen would like to look at the information and the research related to Read 180 that has been put together, we certainly can provide that information to you.
Yeah, I just have the responsibility as you well know that when I see something.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we will take that item separately for a vote, okay? We'll take it separately and subject to vote. Excluding the two contract items, Doreen, would you repeat what those were?
It is the Houghton Mifflin Read 180 curriculum for grades 4 through 12, and it is the Houghton Mifflin English 3D curriculum.
Okay, we will vote on, or I need a motion to approve the agenda excluding Houghton Mifflin, the item of approximately 574,600, and the Houghton Mifflin item approximately 208,561.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve the agenda with the exclusion of those two items by Mr. Scrivens and a second by Mr. Amaral. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Dr. Bowden has abstained. So we have 6 yeses and 1 abstention.
That was for everything but the two items.
That was for everything but those two items. Okay.
Do you wish
I wish to change it for all of them except for those two items.
Okay, we're gonna take those two items separately. Okay. That's 7 yeses. Now we will take Houghton Mifflin, is it okay with you to take those two items together? Houghton Mifflin item $574,591.41, and Houghton Mifflin item that was $208,561.72. May I have a motion?
Second.
A motion by Ms. Kobayashi and a second by Mr. Cooley to approve those items. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have 6 yeses and 1 opposition.
Madam President?
Yes.
It's not unheard of for a board member to sit in on those curriculum adoption committees. And so if you have an interest in that, I suggest that you sit in on those. Mary Chin, who was a board member for many years, sat on that committee for a long time.
With the adoption of the consent agenda, we noticed several personnel listings and changes. Ms. Osumi, could you provide, I know you just in case there are some questions in the audience about what we approved, can you give an general? That's fine.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bob Feaster. I'm your interim assistant superintendent of human resources. I started working about a month ago for you, and so I'm getting up to speed. I will tell you that this list is much larger than we have in reality today. This is a daunting list. It's a daunting list. It looks like there's a lot more than there really is. I will tell you that we have about a handful of classroom teacher positions yet to fill. We do have quite a few special education support staff. We have a lot of support staff and so on, but our classrooms for the most part are just enough to be filled. So this list has been whittled down to today's reality, which is much, much less.
Thank you. And Mrs. Sumi, on those new board approved positions, can you give us a little bit of oversight?
So you will see that the new positions, these are new positions, funded out of a variety of funding sources. You'll see childcare aides, and so those are primarily in our child development program. Remember, there's been some new licensing laws regarding criteria for support in those classrooms. So those are the new positions that have been added.
All right. Thank you. We will move on to action items. Business services, approval of facility use fee rates, Mr. Shinwell.
Good evening, board members, Madam President. The item on the approval of the facility use fee proposal, this is a follow-up to the presentation that I brought before the board at a previous meeting where we took a facility use fee justification study that took a look at the costs associated with running and operating our facilities across the district and put them through a formula that is state mandated for devising the rate by which we can charge for recovery, cost recovery in leasing out our facilities. The study, as you take a look at it, recommended a certain fee structure. I just have to get my little page here. Recommended a certain fee structure for charge, and the justification study rates by law can only be charged up to that dollar amount, but the board can make a decision to revise that dollar amount downward, or we can make a decision to have zero cost for their facilities. But if they were to do so, by law they would have to have zero cost for any entity that came forward to utilize those facilities. The law is very specific that this should not be a hardship on school districts, although they are public property, that they should be leased out to community groups. And this facility use study helped us devise and refine those groups. You'll see that it piggybacks with some policy that we're going to talk a little bit about after this presentation. But the groups that the study helped us define were free use groups, direct cost groups. Those are groups that we will be able to derive a cost recovery formula on, and then groups that are outside of those two levels will pay a fair market value, just as if they went to any other public or private entity out there in the community to use that. Our recommendation for the board at this time is to implement for the 16-17 school year a 1/4 rate of the justifiable rate. Because we are putting these systems or processes in place this year, it gives groups and organizations the opportunity to take out permits to use these facilities. It's gonna help the district with their cost recovery, because up until this point, we were actually spending a lot of money maintaining, running electricity, air conditioning for our facilities, but not recouping an adequate amount of money back. If it goes out at a quarter rate, I think it's a rate that most organized groups can afford. And then what we will do for the board is at the end of this fiscal year, in June, we'll bring back a report and study for the board to understand how many facility rentals we had during the year, what the revenue was generated for those facilities, and we'll ask the board to take a look at the data and information at that time to determine if they want to move those rates up again in the following year. It gives us the opportunity to work with organized groups around facility use and facility use costs. It's a process to implement this once it has not been adhered to in a formal manner, and we are working with all the groups out there that come to the district through this process. And I think having an established rate, and having that established rate something that is low cost, affordable, is going to help us be able to implement this over the next several years.
Mr. Schimmel, the figures in the columns, is that, what's it based on? I see the numbers per square foot, is it per whole classroom?
So you remember from the justification study when it came in, they took in the cost per square foot, and then the cost per square foot basically converted to a classroom size. So the classrooms that you see listed here, or the places that you see listed here, are the types of rooms in our facilities that we rent. So these costs are per hour cost in there. And again, the justification study, you have two rates there. You have the direct cost rate, and you have the fair market value cost rate. You'll see what the study said you legally can charge for those facilities per hour, and the recommended rate next to that, which is a quarter to implement this, are the rates that we would set in place for 16
So it's an hourly rate for these listings of the classroom, yeah.
That's correct.
Any other questions?
I think it's a reasonable approach to say to them, because this is something that's a change from what we've done before, where we've been not very consistent. So, yeah, I appreciate this.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Wyatt, and a second by Dr. Brody to accept the use fee rate structure. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. First read for revised YCUSD board policy 1330, use of school facilities.
And thank you. I'm going to start out with an apology to the board. Normally we take our policies through committee, and since this is so closely linked to the study that we brought forward, and so closely linked to setting the rate so that we can manage through this process for the year, CSBA has brought in new board policy for facilities, basically as a response to the adjustment in the law, the Civic Act law that is part of education code. And so the board policy changes in here are really just language changes to shift from the old policy to the new policy, setting the groups and the rate structure fees in order. A basic change of language and structure that is recognizing the new law, the new language inside the Civic Act that put into that went into place July of 2014. And we've been purposely holding this policy and this AR to this time so that it would make sense with the process that we're going to be setting up a facility use fee structure to adhere to the Civic Act, which is a law that went into place July 24th. So, there's no real material changes in here other than definition changes. And it's a first read for the board. Again, I apologize in advance if the board wishes me to take it back through the policy committee. We're more than happy to do that. I just wanted to get it before you today to kind of marry the facility use justification study, the facility use fee structure that was voted on, and then the language that's going out the board policy that ties all of that together. So the first read is for vote, and the future meeting, unless you tell me to take it through the policy.
This is only the first read, so no action is necessary. If you have additional questions, you can present those to Mr. Shinwell. No action is necessary at this time.
I see no need to go through policy committee this time.
So we'll come back. Declaration of need for fully qualified educators.
Thank you for that first meeting. I'm getting a lot of this. So this is an annual statement that most districts complete this time of year. We're finishing all the efforts that we have. And this document, again, done by most districts, every district I've worked with before, as I can send over to this, is simply your certification that we have done a good faith recruitment. And after doing all of that recruiting, we have a number of teachers who are credentials that don't fully meet all of the specifications needed. For example, we are estimating up to 30 teachers who will not be fully clouded. And we have their certificate for teaching kids other languages as well. And approximately 30 teachers who maybe need to be assigned in limited term to a position for which they're not specifically credentialed for. That page talks about internships. Those are actually included in the 30 limited assignments. That's really just a testament to our effort to recruit people. We've gotten interns. I will tell you that number of 18 is very similar to the district across the river in terms of their use of interns. So we're not out of the ballpark in that one. We've got a number of interns. There are people who have a valid California credential, an intern credential from the state of California. They have a support provider who is helping them along the way, and they are on track to get that provisional credential taken away and have a full credential.
And again, this is not unusual.
It's not unusual from the districts I work in, and talking to other districts today about some other issues. I think this is so moved.
Next.
May I ask a question? Find out if I, okay.
The motion.
I just have a question with regard. Sorry, I have a question with regards to the number of teachers currently teaching in classrooms that are long-term subs waiting for credential paperwork to clear, as well as the number of teachers who are teaching with short-term staffing permits, not intern credentials.
They're not the subject of this one.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Motion stands.
I did.
Motion was made by Mr. Northern and the second was Mr. Scrivener. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item are expulsions
So moved.
and readmissions.
So moved as stated in closed session, denying 2 of the readmissions and accepting 1 of the readmissions. And I would need help with the number.
Yes, specifically, the specific denials were case number 16-17-003 and 16-17-004. The one that was approved in closed was 16-17-005.
Motion by Mr. Cooley and a second by Mr. Amaral. All those in favor? Committee reports.
I made the government liaison committee that was relocated on our calendar from the first day of school, August 11th, will be September 15th, and those meetings are held at 2 o'clock, and that is the joint agency meeting between the city, county, and schools. That will be here in the morning.
Written communications from the public.
This time.
Comments from employee representatives.
Good evening, I'm Dana Lucas, President of the City Teachers Association, representing the more than 700 teachers, nurses, counselors, speech and language pathologists, and school psychologists in the city of Utah. We continue to urge you, the board, to do everything necessary to reach a fair settlement that addresses the needs of our students, especially the need to have a highly qualified credentialed teacher in every classroom for every child of Yuba City Unified. While teachers may be forced to go on strike, we do so because we care for and we care about the students of Yuba City. We are concerned about the future of our schools and the future of our community. We urge you to reach a fair agreement with the teachers, nurses, school psychologists, speech and language pathologists, and school psychologists of Yuba City, so that you can ensure that we will have the best employees to serve the students of Yuba City.
Comments from board members.
I have one. I wonder if maybe we could meet with staff to talk about the calendar. I was informed by a parent who's going to us this year about the timing of the fair. She's contacted me again, wondering if we could maybe do something to plan ahead, because that was one of the reasons that was given, was the lack of time to maybe set reading the calendar. So we can have discussions on that. She would be very interested in that. It's all
We're starting these back to school night, starting tomorrow, Sunday schools, and I want to make sure that no other activities are being held at the schools, so that the parents can go to the schools and find parking spot. It's been a problem in the past, so we get the district office to contact the school sites and make sure that they have contacted anybody that might be in use of the school, such as the high schools and so forth, and that there's not enough room for them.
We have made that request, so my understanding is that they have been able to figure out their calendar so that it's a common calendar.
So if I go by your city, the junior honker going to be out there and
Well,
soccer players and.
I can say that the schools have been given their request, so we certainly can remind them of that.
Thank you.
Comments from the superintendent. I'm sorry, was there any other? Comments from the superintendent.
This is the end of day 9, and day 10 of school will be tomorrow. So our schools are, as Ms. Wilson indicated, we will get a more complete enrollment report after the Labor Day weekend, which will be your first week of September. We do see at this point in time an increase in enrollment. Our first day of school was a little lower than our first day of last year of school, but we are increasing each day. So staff continues to participate in this normal practice at this point in time and evaluate the enrollment numbers on a routine basis. And then we will be making a couple shifts where enrollment was a little lower compared to other schools where it was a little higher, and it causes displacement of a teacher. And so we're working through that process right now. And again, as we continue to see the enrollment increase little by little until October is the trend of our enrollment over a long period of time. We will continue to bring this forward, and a reminder to the board of the 24-1 in TK-3 and the significant penalty that brings us on if we exceed that. And so we're carefully again monitoring.
The next board meeting is scheduled for September 13th. Open session begins at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
A motion to adjourn and a second by Mr. Cooley. All those in favor? Meeting is adjourned.